Hello friends, this is CA Naresh Lakhani, and today I am going to talk about investment options for NRIs in India. So there can be many reasons why NRIs would want to invest in India. Sometimes it is they want to come back and settle in India when they grow older, or they want to keep some buffer in India, or sometimes they want to keep money for their family, friends as well and relatives also if they come for tourism. And in addition to all this, sometimes you have emotional attachment to your country and you feel safer that you have some money back home in India. And at the same time, government of India is making country more conducive for business each days. And we have many options where NRIs can invest. And more than that, sometimes people have commercial interest also, that they believe that India can give them greater returns or higher returns than their home countries. So I'll talk about various options now one by one quickly. So first is the traditional FD or fixed deposit. It is also called time deposit in many different countries including US. So all non-resident, when I talk about maybe people who are working outside India but still have Indian passport, or people who are of Indian origin and have OCI over, which is called overseas citizenship of India. They can also invest in India, or they have some relationship in India or are of Indian origin. So in bank FDs, we have various options. One is FCNR, NRO, NRE accounts. So first I'll talk about NRE. NRE account is in Indian rupees. So when you invest money, the money gets converted from foreign currency into Indian currency. These are tax free, and usually the rate of interest is between 5 to 7%. These days interest rates have come down, and these are not taxed in India, but these may be taxed in your home country. So if you are resident of US, let us say green card holder, or you work there, and that is your residence, even if it is on H1 visa, you can consider that you are resident of US and you are supposed to pay tax on your worldwide income. Though many people don't pay, but somewhere people should understand that this is not legal. So in addition to NRE, there is NRO account, non-resident ordinary account, which is also in local currency. And from there, you can buy shares, or income from NRO account, let us say dividends or mutual funds or shares, whatever you have. If you have an income, you can simply transfer it from there. But maximum amount of remittance you can do from NRO account in a particular year is only 1 million US dollar you can do. Then there is foreign currency account as well, where the dollar, for example, remains in dollar fixed deposit, but the rate of interest is usually lower. These are also not taxed in India, but again can be taxed in your home country. But usually the rate of interest you get from India on dollar is more than what you get in your home country. For example, US, this is also tax exempt, and you also don't have to worry about the fluctuation in currency, because like in NRE or NRO account, you have to convert them into Indian rupees, and when you take back, the rate of exchange may be different or lower, so you may get a hit on foreign exchange rate as well. Then another option is a national pension scheme, or NPS. NPS is similar to social security people have in Western countries, let us say Europe or US. Anyone between 18 to 60 years can invest in NPS, but they need to have PAN card or Aadhaar card for it. Also, you need to have NRO or NRE account to invest in a national pension scheme. And in national pension scheme, there are various options, how you can invest. For example, allocation of your funds in equity, corporate bonds, government security. The maximum amount in equity cannot exceed 75%. So you, and also there is auto choice on how the investment would be done. And again, NPS is for long term. It's like retirement. You will get funds, except 20% you can withdraw before 60 years of age, but later on, you have to wait till 60 years. And at the age of 60% you can get immediately corpus withdraw, but 40% compulsory you have to take annuity, or like pension will start coming to your account, and then the pension money will go to your NRO account. And again, you need to have NRO NRE account. And this NPS is again in INR, Indian rupees. So foreign exchange fluctuation risk would always be there. And the next one is, which is very exciting these days, direct in equity. But you have to do research. Again, you need to have NRE, NRO account. Similarly, any income from there, you can also, you can take money and put it in NRE, NRO account, and you can take that money back to your home country. This is also in INR. And obviously there is risk, and you also have to understand the stock market and the company's portfolio, the profile, all that you need to understand before you make a plunge into direct equity market. Another option, real estate. We all know many non-resident Indians have done investment in all the major cities, and that is real estate, commercial real estate, or it can be residential property, it can be for rental, or it can be for capital gain. Again, this scheme you have to pay taxes according to Indian laws. On rentals, the TDS rate is higher, about 30%, unless you go and file for lower deduction under 197 section of Income Tax Act. और अगेन रियल एस्टेट में रिस्क है, लेकिन लोगों ने काफ़ी कमाया पैसा। और बट इसमें ध्यान रखना कि NRIs cannot invest in agriculture land or plantation in and plantation in India. Another option is mutual fund. So mutual fund is just similar to stocks, but there are more than one company's portfolio or shares, so the risk gets divided. It can be that fund also, it can be the stock driven fund, equity based fund also. Mutual funds are have more risk, and also they have more returns usually than FDs, and also the tax rates are lower. There are some countries where there is restriction on how much amount NRI can invest in mutual funds and stocks. Again, you need to have a NRE or NRO account, and the foreign currency risk always remains there. Also, you can invest like equity link saving schemes where monthly investment can be done in the stock market and mutual fund through this thing, or systematic investment plan can also be done. The last option we have is public provident fund. Public provident fund, you have lock-in period of 15 years. The rate of interest is around 7.7%, which is much higher than what usually US or the European developed countries would give in their foreign currency. At the same time, there is a risk of fluctuation of foreign currency here. And again, as I mentioned, lock-in period is higher, but many people have it, and also this has tax deduction. So again, I will summarize, what all options we have. Fixed deposit, traditional, then we have national pension scheme, then we have share stocks, mutual funds, we have direct equity, real estate, but again, you have exception that you cannot invest in agricultural land or for plantation, the land available. And the last one is public provident fund, where you can also get tax deduction. So except FCNR, all these other options are in Indian rupees. So foreign currency fluctuation risk would always be there, but the rate of returns are much higher. And many people do it in India because they finally want to come and retire in India. So these are all the options we have. I hope you liked my video, and thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And if you really enjoyed it, please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye.